I'm sharing my screen, so let me know if you guys are able to see or not. Okay, thank you. So today we are discussing about AWS VPC. Okay, this we have discussed yesterday. Okay, AWS VPC, and we will see first one what is VPC and what are the subnet. Yeah, we'll see what are the subnets, and third one, so what are the routing tables. Fourth one is what is NAT, and okay, what is IGW. I will tell you what is IGW, and NAT gateway, NAT. Okay, so fifth one is do practical. And test. Okay, so before I discuss VPC, I want to explain you what is the main requirement. Why do we need VPC? Okay, so assume I think you guys are all aware about NTR Park in Hyderabad, right? So that is a public park. Anyone can go and anyone can sit and discuss. They can do the time pass. Okay. In the same way, if we are going to public park, so we need to take care of our children's. It is public one. In the same way, before going to AWS VPC, we need to understand what is the public cloud and private cloud. Public cloud is nothing but anyone can host their application, anyone can create their servers. In the same way, best example is our public parks. So now assume this is my public cloud. Assume this is my public cloud. So this is okay. So this is server 1, and this is another server, and this is another server. Assume I have like three companies is there. Three companies. The first company is Infosys. So Infi, and second one is TCS, and third one is what is your company, Anand? Aditya Birla Soft, BS. Okay. So now we have three companies. So these three guys. So okay. If okay, what we will do, instead of, if you take these service based companies, you will get confused. So for that reason, what I will do, I'll take any companies which they are taking service from these guys. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so assume this is some product based company. Assume this is Maruti Suzuki, and this is Mahindra, Mr. Mahindra, and this is some Kia. Okay, now these guys are having three servers. So assume these three is the clients for one company, any one organization, any service based company. So now this guy is supporting for these three companies, and he is directly hosting these applications, directly hosting this application in a public cloud. So if he is hosting in a public cloud, what is the main challenge here? Main challenges in public cloud. Challenges in public cloud. So first one is uh, IP address overlap. Third one is data data access. They can access my data. So there is no any limitations here. I am going directly and I am directly hosting the application. I am managing all the three application. So I got the project, so I am managing. So without any specific layers, then if I am hosting this type of application in a public cloud, I will definitely get the issues. So that is, so assume I am using 10.0.0.100 for this server. Okay, same. If I want to use same IP, then I'll get a issue. That is one main thing. Another one is they can communicate easily, but I don't want to establish the communication between these two guys. Why? Because these are two different vendors. Okay, so to avoid this one we have a concept called logical separation of my entire. Yes. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create a logical layer between my public cloud. That is, so assume this is my logical separation layer for Maruti guy, and the another one I am creating for another Mahindra. Another one I am creating for another Kia, well, Kia client. So I have created now. If we created this virtual logical layer, so now you are hosting servers here. You are hosting your servers. You are hosting your servers here. This time what will happen? These servers cannot communicate because there is no communication established between these two. The communication is not established between these two. That is the how we are. There is no communication between these two logical layers. Okay, this is how we are restricting first one. And you can use same IP address within this. So assume this is my region AWS region, any one region. So if you see yesterday's class, you will understand what is AWS region. Okay, in this region I have created one logical layer, that is VPC A, and this is VPC B, and this is my VPC C. Okay, now I can use same IP addresses for this server. I don't want to worry about the same IP is using by another party. I can use for this server same IP address. I can use with another server also, because this is private to my account, private to my region, my VPC. This is only related to my VPC. Okay, so I'll give one more example. So private IP. So why we will use same IPs, same roll number, same IP address for multiple servers. Assume assume you are writing your 10th class exam. So in your school you have separate roll number. So you will have roll number 2. So that roll number 2 can't, if you are if you are present, you are going to write in your 10th class exam, you will have separate roll number. That is, you are having separate hall ticket number. That is a publicly remember, they will remember with the help of the roll number. They can't remember who are you. If you are providing them your hall ticket number, they will identify. So this guy belongs to, okay, this serial number. Okay, If you are going and you are telling this is my roll number, okay babu, go out and sit some time, I will call you later. Okay, so private IP address or private roll number is only belongs to your college or school or your VPC itself. Okay, this private IP addresses only under this specific logical layer. Okay, I think you understand these two situations, these two problems we can avoid with the help of creating logical layer. That logical layer is called AWS VPC. So what is VPC here? VPC is a virtual private cloud. It is a logically isolated cloud we are creating in the AWS with our defined our defined IP ranges. IP ranges. Okay, again there are something some you need to understand what is IP addresses. There, what are the different types of IP addresses? So I will just navigate to one quickly. How many classes is there, what are we need to use? Just I'll show you, then if you have your free time, then go and study it. Okay, IP address classes. Okay, IPv4 addressing. Okay, there are two types of IP addresses. One is IPv4 and one another one is IPv6. I will show you what is IPv4 and IPv6. So types of IP addresses. So IPv4 and IPv6. So can you tell what is IPv4 and IPv6? Anyone? You know already. Okay, so we will see what is IPv4 and IPv6 address here. Okay, what I will do, ns lookup google.com. If you see here, this is IPv4 address, that is IPv4, and IPv6 is this one. అది కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది, కొంచెం ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గా కూడా ఉంటుంది అనమాట IPv6. సో IPv6, so why they have introduced IPv6 and IPv4? So IPv6, why they have introduced? Earlier we have IPv4 only, now they have introduced IPv6 also. If you are using Reliance Jio, this does not have any IPv4, so it is directly IPv6 only they are working. So basically at the starting stage of internet, so why they for only US Defense Academy they have introduced for their internal communication internet they are using. అండ్ వాళ్ళు ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయలేదన్నమాట ఇంటర్నెట్ ఇంత భయంకరంగా డెవలప్ అవుతుంది, ఇంత భయంకరంగా ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ డెవలప్ ఈ ఏమంటారు ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ అయిపోతాయి అనేసి. సో అందుకని ఇప్పుడు ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ అయిపోతున్నాయి అనేసి చాలా రోజుల నుంచి చెప్తున్నాను అనమాట IPv4. సో దిస్ ఈస్ 32 bit. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ 4 times of this one, 128 bit this one. Okay, so 38 bit means nothing but this is 8 bits, this is 8 bit, this is 8 bit, so 4 8s are 32 bits. So this is the 32 bit and this is 128 bit IPv6 address it is having. Okay, so you can see one more thing here, RFC 1918, RFC 1918, RFC 90. If you click on RFC 1918, if you have time, go through it and you can study it. So what is RFC, guys? Request for change. So if you are doing any changes, you need to raise a RFC. Okay, you can study here. Okay, RFC is raised in 1996. వాళ్ళు 1996లోనే గ్రహించారనమాట IPv6 అడ్రస్లు అయిపోతున్నాయి అనేసి. ఆల్రెడీ ఒకటి ఏదో చేశారు. ఓకే, ఈ IP అడ్రస్లు అయిపోతున్నాయి, దాని గురించి మనం ఫ్యూచర్లో వర్క్ చేయలేము, ఇంటర్నెట్ ఉండదు, IPv4 అడ్రస్ లీడ్ చేయాలంటే అందుకనేసి సో we need to understood how the IP is working. Okay, you can go through this and you can understand. I want to see something here, like there are 4 classes is there. Which one we need to use, which one we should not use? Okay, okay, you can check this one again at later point of view. AP tutorials point they given very clearly. Okay, what is the subnet mask we need to use, how many IP addresses we will get. Okay, let me navigate to our actual. Okay, now you guys understood, right? So this is how our VPCs should not be IP should not be overlap if you are using your virtual private cloud. Okay, so yeah, so we will see how to create a virtual private cloud and what is subnet. Subnet is nothing but, okay, so we, subnet is a logical collection of our our IP address, logical grouping of our IP addresses. So we are creating a VPC. Okay, assume I have created my VPC. Assume this is my VPC. I need to give my VPC, I need to give an address range. So I'm going with 10.0.0.0/16. So this is the CIDR we will call. /16 is my CIDR. What is CIDR? Classless inter domain routing. CIDR. CIDR. Classless domain inter routing. So what is this subnet mask? This is the subnet mask we can call it. What is the my CIDR range? I will go with a 16. So if we are taking 16, okay, how many addresses you can allocate to your VPC? Okay, so first 2 bits are fixed, 10 10 10 and 0 is fixed. Okay, so what we will do here, we will come here and we will design this one. Okay, so coming to VPC, so first step is create VPC. So first we will create VPC and we will give a name to it. Name of name VPC name is, what I will do, blue VPC I will give. Okay, blue VPC and CIDR range I need to give, right, 10.0.0.0/16. Now what I need to do, I need to create subnet. So if you are creating subnet 1, what I will do for this one, I will give public subnet. I will give directly public subnet 1 I will give, and I will give 10.0 is fixed because I already used 16. 16 is my subnet mask. If I am using 16, my addresses will be my this up to till here, these 2 digits, it is not changed. If you are going and creating any additional subnets within this range, okay, you need to take within this range only. So now 10.1.0/24 for one my subnet. So same way I am creating subnet 2. This is I am calling as private subnet 1 I am calling, and I am going the CIDR range 2.0/24. okay, next creating route. I mean create IGW. IGW is nothing but internet gateway. Blue IGW. I'll give the name for this blue IGW and attach to VPC. Next one, what I'll do, create a routing create routing tables for both public and private subnets. Okay, I'll explain you why I'm calling it as public and why I'm calling it as a private subnets. Okay. Okay, so this is my VPC. Under this one, as I mentioned yesterday, we have minimum three availability zone in one AWS region. Within the regions, the connectivity by default it is established. By default, the connection is established. You don't want to do anything. The connection is already established. So already the connection between the three availability zones already established. And now what we are doing, we are creating, first step is creating a VPC. So let me navigate to my account and I will create VPC. So as I mentioned, I can use same IP address for VPCs, but not within the VPC. Within the VPC, IP should not be overlap. Across the VPC, IPs can be, we can use same IP addresses. Okay. And if you see, I have already two VPCs with the different IP address is there. Different IP addresses is there. So this is my default one. So AWS is whenever you create your account and you log into any one of the particular region, Ireland or North Virginia, any other region, so you will have one default VPC. So if you are very new to, why they will give default VPC. If you are new to AWS, you don't know how to create this VPC and manage, you want to learn only about a computer, you need to launch any EC2 instances, then you can go and create with this default VPC. If you don't have any default VPC, you can't create any EC2 resources, EC2 servers in your AWS account. So make sure, if you are very new and you want to create servers, so don't delete your default VPC. Okay, that is the reason I'm firstly explaining networking concept. Without networking concept, you can't create your virtual machine, that is EC2 server. Okay, so let me create VPC. So VPC name is blue VPC, right? Blue VPC. So name is nothing. You can give same name to the other instances also, but unique ID will generate. That is you need to understand. So now 10.0.0.0/16 I am using, and no IPv6. We are going with the IPv4 only. Remaining things will be kept like default. If you see tenancy is default. You have dedicated tenancy also, but if you are choosing dedicated, it will be additionally you need to pay for the AWS. We are not using for production, right? We are using for practice test only, so we'll go with the default. And the tag names, so keep in mind, tags is very important. A tag is a label that you assign to any AWS resource. Each tag consists of a key and value. Okay, key and value. Key is nothing but any name, and value is the value which we are giving. So it is very helpful when you are doing a backups and patch updates in the any environment in your cloud. You can use tags to search and filter your resource or track for your AWS cost. One more thing, assume you have multiple EC2 instances, multiple accounts, multiple projects you are running in your AWS account. That time what you need to know, so which project is used, what is the cost is used by the project A. Then unit how you can segregate with the help of tags. You are giving add new tag, you can go and give the project. So project is the name, here is test project, or you can give Maruti, whatever the project you are having, that you can give here and just create your resource. Not only for VPC is completely free, only VPC. Okay, underlying components is there under VPC that are chargeable. Okay, so now I have created my VPC. I have created my VPC, but if you create VPC, it is nothing. Okay, you need to. So again, VPC is region basic or zone basic. Okay, in which availability zone it is created. Now I have created my VPC. Yesterday we discussed, right, Krishna? So availability zones and regions. So I have created now one VPC. So this VPC belongs to which availability zone? I have created in Ireland. So which availability zone my VPC is belongs to? So answer is VPC is not a availability zone one. It is a region specific. For per region you will create your VPC. Under VPC, under that region, you will extend to the particular availability zone with the help of subnets. That's what we are discussing now. Okay. So now what we are doing. So now what we'll do, just we have created. So assume you keep remember, you need to remember when you are creating your subnet. So next step is our subnet, go to the subnet, create subnet, select VPC. Okay, we need to choose our VPC. Under that VPC only we are going to create. So blue VPC. Okay, subnet name. So blue public subnet. I am giving subnet 1. Subnet only I will give. I don't want to create multiple subnets here. So if you see here, now the subnet is belongs to any particular availability zone, 1A or 1B or 1C. If you choose any preference, it will create on a specific availability zone. If you keep no preference, it will keep by default any one of the availability zone. So I will go and choose 1A. I need to give here my CADR range. So 10.0. If you give 2, no, it won't take. Why? Because already our VPC falls under 0. 0.1.0/24. So why I am choosing 24? Why I am not choosing 32? So if you choose 32, you will get error. Okay, what is the error? We will see. Create subnet. If you see here, IPv4 block size must be between a 16 subnet mask and 28 subnet mask. Your subnet, this needs to be present in these ranges only. Okay, I will explain you why we need to have within this range only. So for now I'll go and I'll choose 24, create subnet. So now subnet is creating. In the same way, public subnets, right? We will create public. Okay, subnet 1 I will give this one. Why? Because we have 3 availability zones. We will go and create in 3 availability zones. Okay, same way I will create another subnet in the same VPC. I'll give the name as blue public or private, public only I think, public subnet 2. In 1B I am giving 1B. Earlier I had taken 1A, and here I will take 10.0.2.0/24. Already I taken 1, so 2 you need to take. Create subnet. Okay, so yesterday I said how many IP addresses we will get if we are choosing 28 and 32. I will show you. IP address calculator, subnet calculator, right? Yeah, subnet calculator. Okay, so I'll give the IP address 10.0.1.0 I am giving, and subnet mask is there somewhere here. You can see here this one, mask bits. If you choose 32, how many IP addresses will get? So 32 is not coming here. Okay, we'll take 30. Okay, and we will see how many IP address we'll get. Host per subnet is only 2 we are getting. Okay, 2 IP addresses only we are getting. That is 1.1, 1.2. Only 2 IP address will get. The same way, if you choose 29, how many we will get? We will see 6 we are getting. So 1.1 to 1.6. So AWS is selling only 28, you need to go minimum, and maximum is 16. So here you can see 14 you are getting. 28 you are taking, that time you are getting 14. So why this 14 we need to check minimum. Okay, so maximum is /16, minimum is /24. So the subnet mask is increasing means your IP addresses will decrease. If subnet mask is less means your IP addresses will be high. Assume now if you are choosing your 16 is our subnet mask, you will get 65,000 IP addresses, 65,534 IP addresses. Okay, now what is our main discussion here? So why can't we do, why need to we choose only minimum is 28? So you are getting 14 IP address ranges. Apart from 14, in 14 you will 14, right? In this 14, AWS will reserve 5 IP addresses, 5 IP address, first four and last one address they will reserve for gateway. Gateway and broadcasting and this kind of they will use our 5 IP addresses. So already 14 only we have. 14 minus 5, you will get only 11 IP address. With the 11 IP address, if you are choosing your subnet mask is only 28 or below that, they won't allow. Because if you are choosing 29, you are getting only 6 address. If they are taking only 5 address for you, for AWS purpose, only one IP address, with that we can't do anything. So 28 is minimum, we are still having 11 IP addresses. Okay, with the 11 IP address you just create one VPC and 2 subnets and 4 servers only. Apart from that you can't allocate, you can't create any additional EC2 servers. Okay, okay. So now what we have done, we have created our VPC we have created, and we are extending that VPC to we are extending that VPC into subnets, I mean availability zone. Now we have extended this one to 2 availability zones, right? We have created 2 subnets here, 2 subnets we have created, and blue public subnet 1, blue public subnet 2. So now I am creating one more subnet in the another availability zone, that is blue public subnet 3. Subnet I will give subnet 3 in another availability zone, that is 1C I am going with, and the IP address will be 10.0.3.0/24. Why it is not giving? Yeah, so you understood, right, why we need to use 28 or 16. Okay, now we will see what are the IP address, I mean subnets we have created in this particular VPC. So this is my VPC ID. This VPC ID is unique. Name you can give to any VPC. Okay, name is nothing, just for our understanding only we are giving. So we will go to the subnets and we will filter with the VPC ID. Then we will understand how many subnets we have created. So three subnets we have created with the 3 IP address ranges. See, now we'll go here and we will extend this. Now just we have extended this VPC into another availability zone also. So now availability zone 1A, 1B, 1C. Take this one, take this AZ1. So I'll give here, instead of giving here I'll give AZ1 availability zone 1A. Okay, here I will give AZ availability zone 1B. So availability zone 1C. Okay, now my VPC is extended to 3 availability zones. Okay, assume, okay, what is this? This is your internet. Assume this is your internet. Internet. Okay. So now what I'm doing, uh, take this one, take this one only, and create. This is one server, and this is one server, and this is one server. Now to communicate between these three servers, okay, this should not go to the internet and it won't come to back. Okay, so to communicate between this server, so it won't go to the internet. Okay, and it will come back to again back to from here, and from again here it won't come. Okay, it is reached to internet and it is communicating like this. It won't, it is not necessary to communicate from there to here. Okay, it's no need to communicate between uh, two EC2 instance within single VPC. It should not go and come via internet. Okay, because already I said here, if you see here, the communication is already established between these two. So what it will do, it will go via, come on, the communication is already established between the availability zones, so it will communicate via this channel. Okay, it does not require any internet to communicate between these servers. Okay, so this will communicate like this. So now assume I want to go to the internet and I want to get some packages I want to download, or someone needs to access my application which is hosted in this server. Okay, this is my application, I have hosted some application here. Someone want to access this application. How this will be accessed? How this will be accessed? This will be accessed by with the help of with the help of with the help of internet gateway. This is IGW, we can call it as internet gateway. IGW, internet gateway. So if some application, or I want to go to the internet, what I will do, I will go like this with the help of internet gateway. If I want to communicate internally, so I can communicate without any additional routings or additional gateways. Okay, with the help of internet gateway, I will go and I'll connect to the internet, and if someone wants to connect to the my applications via internet, so they need internet gateway. Understood? We will see that is also how to create internet gateway. And don't forget one more point, after you're creating your VPC, so I'll add one more point here. VPC, create VPC with the help of that one, and enable DNS host names for VPC. So what is that? If you see here, blue VPC, right? Go to the actions, go to the DNS host names. See, it is not enabled. If you are not enabling, what will happen? What will happen? Just click on your EC2. Okay, you don't get, you won't get any DNS or public, the DNS name you won't get for your servers. So we are saving that, we are enabling and we are saving that. And go to the subnets. After you create your subnets, go to your subnets and choose your subnet which is comes under your blue VPC. Go to the actions, modify auto assign IP settings. So see here, enable auto assign public IPv4 is not there. So why we need public IP? If you want to connect to the server, right, you need to have the public IP of a particular server, then only you will able to connect. Same way you need to do for all the three subnets. This is only public. See, only I am telling public. Okay, I'll tell you why I am calling this as public, why I am calling another subnets as a private. I will create private subnets and I will tell you why I am calling that one as a private subnets. Okay, wait for that. What is this? Modify auto assign IP. Okay. Yes, save this. Now we have saved. So what is our requirement now? So I want to connect to the internet. What I need to do? I need to create internet gateway and I need to attach it. So internet gateway is to communicate with the internet from our VPC. We need a internet gateway. I have two internet gateways which is attached to my other VPCs. So internet gateway creating is very simple. Just create, come here and give a name to it, IGW. Okay, IGW is nothing but internet gateway. Just start short form we are giving. So if you click on internet gateways again, now you are having three internet gateways. One is in detached mode. That means we are not attaching to any internet gate, any VPC. So what we will do, just go to the actions, click on the particular internet gateway, go to that and attach to VPC. So which VPC you need to attach? So I have only one VPC which is not attached with any internet gateway. So just use that one. Yeah, CLI also is there, that we will see. So to create resources or to access resources, there is a three ways. One is GUI, graphical user interface, which we are using currently. Another one is command line interface, that is especially or only with the commands. Okay, you don't have this GUI, that also we will see. And there is a some application, some SDK. With the help of API SDKs, you can access your AWS. Okay, attach internet gateway. Okay, now I have attached this one. Now what else we need to do? Create IGW, create routing table for both public and private. So first we will create a routing table and we will tell. So before going to that, I will tell you. So I have given here, right? I have given here this VPC range. I have given this is the range for my VPC. And what I done, I have subdivided into subnets with the help of uh, subnets. Okay, that is 10.0.0.0/16. I mean 24 I gave, not 16. Okay, so here I gave 1. I think I gave 1 for that. This for this one I gave the 2. So 10.0.3.24. So okay, so this is how we have divided. So simple గా చెప్పాలంటే, simple గా if I want to explain, so assume this is my 5 acres land I have. 5 acres land I have. Now what I want to do, I want to do the plats. I want to do the plats in this 5 acres land. Okay, సో మీరు అడగచ్చు ఎందుకు ఇది పెద్దది పెట్టినారనేసి. ఎందుకంటే ఇది విల్లా కట్టుకుంటాను నేను, దీంట్లో వచ్చేసి ఓన్లీ బిల్డింగ్ కట్టేసి వదిలేస్తాను. ఎందుకంటే సో ఒక కస్టమర్కి ఒక రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, సో యు ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ యాజ్ ఏ యువర్ AWS networking solution architect or some. So that time what you need to do, you need to differentiate, or you need to give the what is the requirement of a particular project or particular subnet. What is the how many subnets he is asking, how many IP address he want. So assume this guy is asking I want only 30 IP addresses. So then what is the range you will give? 10 means slash what is the range you need to give? Slash, come here. So you need 30 IP address range, 30 address you need. So 30 means here 30 is there. Okay, you are coming here and you are using 27 subnet mask. So you are giving is a slash 27. So but if he is asking 30, you don't go with 30 only. You need to go and you need to choose as a 26 is the option, because 30 might not be sufficient. Now it is sufficient. After some time, or after 1 year or 1 month, so the project may extend. You need some other IP addresses. Then you need additional IP addresses. That time we can't do anything with the subnets. So we can't increase the this created subnet range. Okay, assume once we created, this is fixed. So we have faced one time in my previous company, we have faced the IP addresses is not enough. not sufficient we for my project. So we asked some low range. Okay, so keep in mind and ask the IP addresses how many you need. Okay, he asked only for 30, so I'm going and I'm giving 60 addresses, but I can't go and I can't assign this guy. He is asked only 30, right? I can't go and I can't assign 255 or 254 IP addresses. Okay, 0 to 254, that means 255 address is there. Okay, I can't go and assign. So he asked around somewhere 200 IP addresses he need. So that time what I will do, I will give /24. There he is getting 255 address. So in the same way, I just partitioned my VPC into multiple subnet range. As per our company's our project requirement, in real times we will do the segregation. Okay, I hope you got the point. Now what we will do, subnets is done, routing table is done. Now main point is route table. Okay, so I think all of you visited shopping malls. In shopping malls, you will see the signboards. So where you need to go, you want to go McDonald's, go to this way. You need to go to the lifestyle, go this way. You have all the signboards. Okay, even we are the humans, we know what where we need to go. Even though we have signboards, in the same way, this also needs to go to talk the internet. To talk with the internet, we need to give a one routing to talk with the internet. We need to give the routing for these missions. So I'll go and I'll show you actually what is routing. Then you will understood. Okay, Indian highway signboards. Signboard images. What is this here? This one will take. Open image in new tab. Okay, you can see here. Come on. Okay, okay, I think this is Mumbai highway. So it is telling. So Panwal you need to go. It goes this way. Lonavala, and Pune, Goa, and Karagar. So you need to take this route. This route, if you check, you will go this way. If you take this one, you will go to the Panvel. You go to, if you take this way, Lonavala, you will go like this. They are defining which route you need to take to reach your destination. In the same way, we will tell to my subnets, my subnets with the help of routing tables. We will tell to the my subnets which one, like where you are, where is, or like what is your destination. So what we will do now, so just come here, and before I'll come here, what I will show, I want to show you one thing. I need to take my VPC blue VPC ID, and I'll go to the routing tables. Just I will copy here. Okay, if you see here, did we created any routing table? No, right? By defaultly, when you create your VPC, by defaultly there will be one routing is created. Okay, that is the main routing table, that is default routing table that we won't use. Okay, if you are using that one, it will do all the things. All the routing is allowed between the three subnets or whatever the subnets you are creating within this your VPC. By defaultly the communication is established. That is the this one I said, right? This routing is already communicated with the default one. So we don't want to go and do anything with that. So now I want to create a route table. So what I will give, blue public route. So why I am telling public, you will understand now. I need to choose my same VPC and create it. So I'm just created a routing table. I didn't done any routing, just I closed this one. Okay, you can associate this routing table from here or else from the subnets itself. Okay, best idea. So come here, choose this routing table, go to the subnet association, which subnet you want to associate this routing table. So I have three subnets available, but it is not associated with this routing table. So edit subnet association and choose which subnet you want to associate with this one. So I want to associate this one with one subnet, that is public subnet, which I have created. Just save it. I have saved this one, and I didn't given any routes. As I mentioned, right, local route is created by defaultly for routing tables also. No need to establish any communication. Local means that is we are telling to my machine. So okay, whatever the IP address is starting with 10.0, within this IP, if he is communicating from here to here, then assume this is your local. You just allow, you don't want to do any configuration. That is what local. If the IP address is other than 10.0, then what we need to do, we need to allow a communication to allow here. So come here and edit the routes. So we are specifying, we don't know, right, we are reaching to the internet. Google, if you want to reach the internet, you can reach. If someone is accessing your application, we don't know which IP address he belongs to. How you will allow, how you will allow that guy's IP address, right? You don't know, you don't know. Then what you will do, just go with the all IP address, all IP address with the help of internet gateway we have created, right? Internet gateway. This internet gateway you are attaching here, and you are saving the your route table. So internet gateway is publicly accessible, so anyone can access your application with the help of internet. That is, if you have your application, your application needs to be publicly public facing application, then you need to go with this option. Okay, if your application is public faced one, then you need to choose this routing and this internet gateway. Understood? So I can go with only one routing table for multiple subnets. Okay, or else you can create one more routing table for second subnet, one more third routing table for third subnet. You can do that manner also. Okay, but yeah, so I'll go with one subnet only, one routing table only. But whenever you guys are practicing, create 3 routing tables and attach it to 3 subnets. Just I'm going here, I'm editing subnet association. I'll use another 2 subnets also with the same single routing table. Okay, so I added now, everything is there now. Okay, now I have created internet gateway, everything is there. So now what I will do, I want to test the connectivity, right? Whether am I able to connect to the internet or not. How can I test the, with the help of EC2 instances, I will test that connectivity. Okay, okay, you just follow me today and you will understand what is this all about whenever we are discussing into AWS EC2. Okay, I'm choosing is free tier eligible one. Here we need to choose your VPC. Which VPC? Blue VPC. What is the subnet you need to choose? Any subnet which is belongs to your public. So now we are going with a public option only, right? See, this option is use subnet setting is enabled. We have enabled subnet IP auto assign public and auto assign public IP at subnet level. That is the reason it is enabled by default. Okay, that is public subnet, right? That is the reason we have enabled. We need to access to that server. Next, add storage. Storage is default, whatever is coming, just go with that. Next, configure security group. Select an existing security group. Just choose a security group. Okay, review and launch. Just launch it. So this all you will understand when we are discussing about EC2. Just follow this. So I have created one server. Okay, view instances. So until this server will create, okay, this server what I will do, public server I will tell. So because I have created in public server, public is nothing but I have created internet gateway. Internet gateway is accessible for the public. You can go to public can access your server. Okay, so public server I given. Until this will create, I will go and I will create subnets. Which subnets I will create? I'll create private subnets. Create subnet. Okay, choose your VPC, blue VPC. Okay, so I'm giving the name for my public subnet, I mean private subnet is blue private subnet 1, and preference is 1A, and CADR block is already we have chosen 10.0.3 already we taken, right? 4 now we'll take 4.0/24 we will take. This is in 1A. In the same way, you can create 1B also. We can create one by one, or else at one go also, we will create 3 subnet at once in 3 availability zones. Private, right? This one, private subnet 2, and 1B is my preference, and my IP address is 10.0.5.0/24, and I'm going to add one more subnet. This is one more private subnet I'm creating in 3 availability zones. Private subnet 3, third availability zone 1C, and IP address will be 10.0.6.0/24. So just I'm creating. So at one go I'm creating 3 subnets. You see, creating subnet 1, creating subnet 2, creating subnet 3. You can create individually also. Yeah, already we created individually. So now we don't want to waste our time. So that is the reason we are creating at one go. So now you just bring your VPC and you can see how many subnets you have in your that particular VPC. We have 6 subnets now. See, three subnets belongs to private, and 3 are belongs to public. Public already we defined with the internet gateway. So now NAT gateway, we have NAT gateway. NAT gateway is basically to connect directly. Okay, I'll do one more thing here. Okay, now we have created another layer for our private. So we have created a public one. Now we are creating private one. So we have extended like this. Come on. Okay, now what we have done, we have created one more, we have created 3 subnets across 3 availability zones. These are the 3 subnets. Okay, we'll give names for that. Okay, 10.0.4.0/24 we give, and copy. The name 5, and this is the 6th one. So here I am not using internet gateway. Why? Because I am telling it is private one. So no one can, so I can access internet. I can access internet from the server, but no one needs to access my server from the outside of the world. So someone trying to access internet means it is with the help of internet gateway it will access. So how I will access now? So I will access with the help of NAT gateway. So I will create a NAT gateway here. So assume this is your NAT gateway. NAT. So if I want to access internet, I can again I have servers in 3 availability zones. Okay, 3 available zone I have servers. So if I want to connect to the internet like this, I will go to the NAT gateway, and from the NAT I'll go to the NAT gateway, and from the NAT gateway to I'll go to internet gateway. Via internet gateway I will go to the internet. This is how I will go. But so NAT gateway is having one advantage. So no incoming traffic to this. Okay, no one can access like this internet gateway, and if someone want to access my server which is created in by private environment, they can't access like this. That is the beauty of NAT gateway. With the help of NAT gateway, no one can access from the internet, but we can access internet. Why do we need a NAT gateway? Tell me. So assume our applications running in application type where we don't want to expose our application to the publicly faced publicly. Okay, publicly we don't want to expose. Then we have a requirement of to download applications or any application upgrades. If you want to do any patching, that time you need internet connectivity. So you are going to the internet and you are getting the packages, but outside people are not connecting to your servers. That is the beauty of NAT gateway. So with the help of NAT gateway you can use this NAT gateway, where you can see in your Wi-Fi router is also NAT gateway in your home. So you are connecting to the internet, but no one is connecting to your laptop, right? The same way it will also here. So what we need to do, we need to create a NAT gateway here, NAT gateway. So there is no NAT gateway. So please keep in mind, whenever you are creating NAT gateway, once you complete your session or your practicals, please terminate your, please delete your NAT gateway. Please delete your NAT gateway, repeating it. So NAT gateway is chargeable one. When you create NAT gateway, it is charged one. It is not comes under your free tier account. Okay, create NAT gateway, it requires one elastic IP, that is a fixed IP it requires. So blue NAT I am telling, and select subnet. And one more thing you need to keep in mind, this NAT gateway you need to create in a public environment. So don't forget that one. Any public subnet you can take, any public subnet you can take, public subnet one. While creating the NAT gateway, that NAT gateway needs to be reside in your public environment. Okay, if you have any elastic IP, you will get from here. I don't have any, so I am allocating one elastic IP. So that elastic IP is having this elastic interface. So with that elastic IP interface, I am getting the IP address 54.246.2.167. This is a public IP. This is not falls under my 10.0. Okay, now create NAT gateway. I have created NAT gateway now. So now what I want to do, I want to add this one, right? I want to add this one to where I need to add. I need to add to the routing table. Which routing table I need to add? My private routing table is there, right? There I need to add. Okay. So why I need to add over there, I'll tell you. I think I didn't created any private routing tables. I think I have created one. My private route. No, this is not the routing table actually. Okay. Yes, this is the private route I have created. Public route only one, right? Yes, I will create another route for private. Blue private route, only one I'm creating, ROUTE route. So I'm choosing my blue VPC only, just I'm creating it. Blue private I have created now. If you see this one, blue private one, I don't have any subnets associated with this one, right? If you see here, if you come down, I don't have any associated subnets with this one. So I'm going to edit and use your private, not public one. Okay, private subnet 2, private subnet 3, private subnet 1. So just save this. I have saved this. Now under routing tables, so it is private, right? I don't want to go with the internet gateway. I just edit this one. I will use the option. You guys know already what is 10.10 and why it is local routing. It is we are calling. So we are just mentioning 0.0.0, and which one we need to choose here? NAT gateway we need to choose here. Choose the NAT gateway and save routes. We have saved routes. So now we have created both public environment and private environment with the help of NAT gateway and internet gateway. Now what we will do, we will create one more server, that is launch instance. Just follow the steps. Next, configure instance details, and choose your VPC, blue VPC. Here don't forget to choose your private subnet. If you are choosing again public subnet, there is no use, already we created one. So we need to choose any private subnet, See here, by defaultly subnet setting is disabled. If we enable also, I'm just giving enabling. I'm just enabling for your understanding. Even if you give the public IP to your private server, it won't work. Private means it does not have any public IPs. We need to go with the private server, private IP address only. There is no public IP address. So, but for the sake of understanding, your understanding, I'm giving just enabling. If you enable also, you will get a public IP, but you won't able to connect to that IP. So don't enable that one. Add storage, add tags. Next, security group, same security group I'm having it already. So default one. So I'm just using that one. Review and launch. So launch. So I'm using existing key pair. This and all you will understand later. Okay, just launched instance, two instances launch, one is in public and another one is private. Just view instances. I will give the name for the server as private because already it is in private environment, private server. I gave this one as private server. Okay, now I want to log into this server. Okay, I will log in and I will show you. I to log into this server, what is the requirement? Public IP I need. Okay, open your putty or putty and use your key pair. This I will show you how to connect to, how to install putty and how to connect to the servers when we were discussing about EC2. Okay, it won't connect because there is some issue with the security group, which is default security group is created, right? You just click on the security group, just click on the security group. If you click on the security, you will be able to see the rules. Inbound traffic, we are allowing all the traffic from security group ID. What is this? See, it is given network connection time dot. Okay, so we will fix that issue. So it is, again it is pointing to same security group ID. If you see here 189, it is allowing from only this security group. For that reason you need to come here and you need to allow custom IP or anywhere or my IP. Okay, custom IP is nothing but my IP. I mean any custom IP you can give, or you can give my IP. So my IP is by default it is came, right? I don't want to give my IP, so anywhere we will use. So don't forget this one. So in real time, whatever the one we are using is default one. So all the traffic we won't use anywhere. We won't use anywhere. Okay, real times we won't use. Keep in mind. So now I have used, right? Just I will go to the putty and just restart this session. Just restart the session. It is asking to prompt. Yes, I want to connect to my server. What is the IP? Is that correct IP or not? I think I have connected to wrong IP. No, correct only. 3248 253 70. Where is that? Yes, you can see here it is connected now. So what I will do, I'll just maximize this, change settings, window, change settings. When it is maximized, apply. Okay, if you see here, the server IP address is 2. What is the IP address? 233 1.233. So we have created our subnet is 10.0.1.0. Under that it is allocated one IP address. One IP address, you can see, right? This is the my private IP address. So it is showing I have connected to this server. So now I can, what I want to do, I want to ping google.com. So it will work. Yeah, it will work definitely because of internet it is having. Sudo yum install any package I will use, git I will install. So if I'm having internet only, then only I'm able to install this one. So I'm installing, so I'm having network. Okay, that means publicly I'm going public and I'm getting the internet with the help of my internet gateway which I have created. So now I want to connect to this server. How can I connect? So we have public IP, right? We have assigned one public IP. Let me try to log into this server, whether we able to connect or not. Okay, we won't able to connect because this is a private one. There is no access to public. So just load it and give the IP address. Just open this. You can't connect, you will get an error. So how to connect to the private server? So let that will come, and I will use this private IP address and I will navigate to my already one server is there here, right? From here I will connect. Okay, to connect that one I need a that key pair. So I will explain you that and all later. See, network connection error, so it is unable to connect. That is private IP, it is enabled. Just I have enabled for sake of your understanding. I want to show you it won't connect. So we need to connect. If the internet, I mean the servers are not connected, I mean not created under public subnets, public routing tables which is having internet gateway, you can't able to connect. Okay, now I want to connect with this. What is this? How can I connect? So go to the downloads and this is my key pair, right? Control all copy. So I will show you, I will tell you this and all while we are discussing. So vi key pair, key, right? Key dot pem, just enter, insert, just paste this key, escape, WQ. Okay, now what is the things I need to do? I want to connect to that server, right? SSH-IE. And what is the key file? Key file is this key file. And what is the username I want to use? This one. This and all, you don't want to worry. I'm here to help you whenever we're discussing. What is this? In a, see, it is asking, are you sure you want to continue to connect? Yes, I'm giving yes. Okay, so it is giving a warning, unprotected private key file. So my key file is there, right? This is having some permission is having to the world, so anyone can see my key. So what I will do, LL, the C key, right? If you see the key, it is having the permission, others also read permission is there. Okay, so what I want to do is just change the permissions to that key file to only read by me only. I think I don't want to have write permission also for that one. Okay, now it is done. I'll use same command and I will try to connect. See, I have connected now. You can see, right? This is my previous server and this is my new server 202. 202 is my private server. I have connected now. Okay, now what I will do, I want to download a package. What I said, with the help of NAT gateway we will go and get the packages download, right? Sudo m install git. So before installing, what I will do, I'll just come to my routing tables. I want to show proof, right? I want to show you the proof. So routing table, private routing table, I'll just disassociate this NAT gateway, edit routes. I will just remove this NAT gateway for time being, just save routes. I'll come back here again. Okay, close. Okay, so now there is no routing, it will only communicate with the internal only in the private environment, right? Now what I am trying to do, I am trying to get some package from the internet. Okay, see, it is in hang mode. It will try to fetch, but there is no internet. You can't go and get the details. So what do you need to do? So I cancel this one. I'm trying to ping it, ping google.com, any URL you can ping it. Okay, see, it is unable to ping. Now what I will do, I'll go here and I'll edit the routes. I'll add the route, use 00, because I am not going to confirm which IP I am going to use, the public. So save routes. Once I save the routing, you come here and you can see it is started pinging. Okay, now what you will do, just come out and execute sudo m install git. So now you are able to install the git. Not only installing it, any package you can, any package. That means, just I am trying to explain you, we are able to connect to the internet. We are getting the packages even in the private environment with the help of NAT gateway. You got it, right? After connecting to the NAT gateway only, we are able to connect to the internet, and we are getting the packages download. Got it? That is how we need to create public and private environments. And you can see here, I will use command prompt. Okay, this is my command prompt, right? Okay, control L. So assume private, there is no public IP address, so no one can access your server. How you will access? If someone is having any access, this is how we need to secure our cloud environment, our servers. Okay, clear? So public server, what is the server I have? Two servers I have here. What is the servers here? Public server. First take the public server. Public server IP is this one. If you have public IP, then only you are able to ping publicly. So this is command prompt. That is from my laptop I am pinging. So I am getting the response. Okay. The same thing I can ping to my private server. So we are doing foolish thing. We have allowed simply public IP here. So with the help of this public IP, you can't ping because there is no internet to that. But come on, why it is not copying? Okay, see, it is pinging. No, it is not pinging. And even if you want, I can take private IP. I'll just to show you ping. Come on, see, don't use any private IPs to test this. Okay, no one will use. Just I'm just giving to just understanding purpose. I'm just giving you. Okay, yeah, guys, this is the how to we need to create and secure our public and private environments. Okay, Any doubts? Any doubts, guys? So how can we test, right? We tested, right, how to test a private server to whether we are connecting to the NAT gateway or not. I said with the help of NAT gateway we can go and connect, right? So what is the proof? We done the proof also. I want to show you again. Ping amazon.com, amazon.com. So it will completely ping. Okay. What I will do, I'll go to the routing tables, routes, and what I will do, edit routes. I'm just removing the NAT gateway, save routes. I saved route. I close this. I think, yeah, we need to test now, not at that moment. So ping amazon.com. See, your ping is not working. That is, you are not reaching your internet. You are not reaching your internet. So to reach internet, what I said, you need to enable NAT gateway. That is the one we are doing now. We are just testing what is the proof whether NAT gateway will work or not. Yes, we are attaching here and we are saving routes. If you save routes, you will go here. Your ping starts will work. See here, it is started working. It is reaching, it is trying to reach your internet. That is how NAT gateway will work. That is how in real time also, if you want to connect your applications for I mean your application server to internet, this is the way we will use. Okay, maximum of our applications will run on this one only, private environment, not in a public environment. Why we will use public environment? Just to log in, just to access your private servers. We will create one server in public and remaining all servers in the private server, and even load balancer also we will create in a public server. Okay, public environment. Okay, any doubts, guys? Yeah, before that I will show you how to delete NAT gateway. Okay, why? Because it is charged one, right? So I almost we completed our class session today. So I want to show you, because tomorrow if you are trying to delete or this one, you can't delete. So just delete NAT gateway. By deleting the NAT gateway, just you need to give the delete. So by deleting the NAT gateway, you don't assume you are not charging. So you are not charged from the AWS. So with the while creating the NAT gateway, what is the additional one we have created? Elastic IP also we have created, right? That elastic IP, if you create and if you are not using, they will charge. If you are created elastic IP, if you are using for that elastic IP for any of the EC2 instance or any NAT gateway, there is no charges. Okay, there is no charges for that elastic IP. So until unless this NAT gateway will delete, we can't release our elastic IP. If you see here, elastic IP, this is the one we have. Just go to the actions. See, release option is not there still. Okay, dissociate elastic IP, you can't dissociate because it will give the error. Still NAT gateway is not deleted. So once the NAT gateway is deleted, then we will able to dissociate our this one. Yeah, questions, guys? Which concept? Okay, what is the doubt you have?